Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Angie Tonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen, Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars: The Twilight Nights. I am John, and I'm your game master for this evening. And joining me today is Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Ilyana, Dathomirian Mystic, and hold on just a second. You know, it says the Destiny pool is clear, but when I sync it, it still says 6-3.
Well, I've forced updates twice already.
Yeah, mine. I synced mine and it's clear. So
Refresh.
I should give it a shot and see what happens.
Go for it.
Or just refresh your Roll20 instance.
Let's see what happens here. I'm going to refresh because when I pushed the button, nothing happened.
I may have to do that too. Mine's not.
Your connection to the server might have been malfunctioning.
Yeah, mine's also doing the same, actually.
Everyone refresh your instance.
Oh, wait. There went like 9 gajillion syncs for me. There we go. There we go. Hey, look, I got us a light side. We're starting off with light side points.
That's because I started off with you, because you're the only one that ever rolls light side.
That's true. I am the only person that rolls light side points.
William.
Let me sync this and make sure it actually syncs. There we go.
Roll20, we love you.
Hi.
Roll20, we tolerate you.
Corsorath, the pureblood Sith Makashi duelist. And I hit the roll button.
And now we wait.
Happening. Dark side.
Hey.
To be clear, Roll20, we love you. Unlike our old Discord voice chat bot.
Fuck you, Craig.
Craig, which we say.
Not
fuck
the
you,
person
Craig.
who is now in several of our games.
Who is right
No.
there, Jack.
Craig.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm sad now.
I'm sorry, Craig.
It's a weird in-joke.
Holly.
I don't know what's happening.
Listen to our old podcasts if they still exist somewhere.
They do.
Hi, I'm Holly. I am playing Vazia, pureblood Sith, duo berserker.
And you hit the button, and we wait again.
There we go.
Ooh,
Oh, two light
light
side.
side. Interesting. And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Nerese, droid consular healer. And here we go.
Your
Sound
voice
like you're coming to us from ham radio.
Yeah, your voice is getting modulated by something. It's great.
It is? I don't know.
Little bit.
It sounds like your
Okay.
microphone is not quite plugged in all the way.
Possibly.
And Jack.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jack. I'm playing Graz Tatha, the Wookiee Shien expert. And I've got a dark side.
Yeah, because you're yelling at Craig.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the Wookiee alchemist, Kitty, and Darkside.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Crack Tulpa, the Quarren artisan, and I got a dark side like I do every game. And I would also like to say that excuse doesn't fly, because even though I wasn't around with Final Show Films, I've known Jack for 13 years. So that's
true.
still a little suspicious.
We just used the chat bot as an excuse to unload all of our bile on you, Craig.
I'm gonna go back and listen to these old ones, and Jack's gonna be like, "I used to know this real son of a bitch. Let me tell you."
You want to know why I moved to the West Coast from my home state? This guy. This guy's why.
Amazing.
Star Wars: The Twilight Nights, Episode 11: Rage Against the Machine. A long time
we
ago.
talked about this.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The year is 3643 BBY, or before the Battle of Yavin, 10 years after the Treaty of Coruscant was signed. The DVI-200 is an ion cannon formerly mounted in starports around the galaxy, designed to disable the engines of a ship on approach in atmosphere or the weapons of an already docked ship, with precision and speed. Automated targeting systems mean that they can be remotely operated, typically at a port authority or control center or wherever they've been installed. Ion weapons typically do nothing to biological targets, as the burst of electromagnetic energy is designed and principally utilized for the destruction of electronic systems, temporarily or permanently disabling them, depending on the type of weapon. However, following an accident in Republic space, it was discovered that the Kuat-manufactured DVI-200 was capable of destabilizing biological entities. I obviously proofread this before I wrote it at the atomic level, reducing them to particulate matter. As such, these weapons are rarely seen on starports anymore. Rarely, that is, except in HUD-controlled space. So,
That's reassuring.
The Shio,
Adds to Kitty's extensive wish list.
a DVI-200 ion cannon, please.
I would like a person melting gun.
I would like an ionization gun, yes.
This is a overpowered ion cannon that functions as a disintegration cannon. So the Shio is currently on approach to a port in HUD-controlled space. Funnily enough, you've got a few minutes before Neres' piloting lands you in the docking bay. Zilda sort of takes command and draws all of your attentions. Right, so here's the plan. They are giving us authority to land. However, they are going to inspect the ship once we land. I want our strongest lightsaber duelists or fighters with me in the passenger area by the loading ramp, and anyone else who is available who trusts their hands on a gun to be up here with your ion cannon. You're going to want to target their control. You're going to want to target their control center with the ion cannon manually, not with your targeting computer, because their sensors will pick up a targeting computer acquiring targets. Once they have gotten to the onboarding ramp, take out their control center with the ion cannon, and those of us by the door will do our thing. If you don't take out their control center with the ion cannon, our fight might be a lot shorter.
Not in a good way.
No.
No.
I'll
So
take the
Crack's
ion
the
cannon.
only one who knows how to use the guns, right?
Crack looks around to see if anybody else
Crack is
volunteers.
our go-to guy on that.
Yep.
Hold
Do
on,
we-
let me look and
um,
see.
John,
Gunnery
I had a
is an
question.
agility
What
skill if
skill
you look at
is
great agility.
co-piloting?
Co-piloting is a variety of skills. Depends on what you're trying to do
Okay.
with it. They have... Let me pull up my book real quick. Co-pilots have a number of actions they can do that benefit either the pilot or other people on the ship. And each of them, I believe, requires a different role.
Yeah, some of them are just straight up piloting. Some of them are computers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me pull up
Well,
Starship and Vehicle Combat. and I
I'm
can give you a
pretty good
list.
at computers, but not great at piloting. So if we need someone to be in the co-pilot seat, I'm definitely not a frontline fighter, and I can't use the guns.
I'm not super trained on the guns, but or piloting, but I can do both.
How many people can we have on the guns at once? I'm
There are
assuming
two
more
guns?
than one.
There's one ion cannon, and
Okay.
then several
Yeah.
and then several twin link turbo lasers.
I mean, it's gunnery completely out of character. It's gunnery, which is an agility skill. So even if you
Right.
don't have points in it, if you have a high agility,
Mhm.
you know, you still can do a lot.
I say,
So Crack or Ileana on the
yeah.
though. Yeah.
Crack has training. I'd say you on the ion cannon, and Ilyana if you can do cover
So yeah,
as well with the
for clarification purposes, the
lasers.
co-pilot has access to most of the ship's systems and can directly affect the pilot's ability to pilot. The co-pilot check is a piloting check that a successful checks downgrade the difficulty of the pilot's next piloting check by 1. But in addition to that, they can also do things like jamming, boosting shields. They can also utilize any gunnery stations that can be operated from the cockpit that don't have their own stations. For you guys, the ion cannon can be operated from the cockpit. It's the twin link turbo lasers that have their own gunnery stations. They can also do damage control, and they can do things that give benefits to the
It
gunners.
seems like it might be smart to have someone in that seat just in case.
Yeah.
But it does seem like Crack might be going to do guns.
Well, and the ion cannon, if you want Crack to fire the ion cannon, he can do that from the co-pilot seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Specifically
was
the ion
misreading this ship's stat block.
Yeah, no worries.
Although having Ileana in one of the turbo laser turrets might be helpful.
I was gonna say, is it a bad idea to use the turbo lasers?
I think having it to provide cover against. We should probably do this in
the
character.
principal. Well, I'm assuming you're gonna ask that question out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's,
Yeah.
I was, you know, hopefully my voice was not as annoying as it is when I do Crack, which is why I said maybe I should do this in character. Crack says, it certainly wouldn't be a bad idea to have some form of cover against organic opponents.
The principal issue with the turbo lasers is going to be trying not to scar up the inside of the port too much, because we do intend for an Imperial Imperial cargo transport to land here.
Yes. Don't want to give away.
This is true.
So don't shoot anybody up unless I absolutely have to. Got it.
The harder the target, the more likely the ion cannon. If they roll out some heavy battle droids, shoot them with the turbo lasers.
I can do that.
John switches over to the conflict tab and is like, hey, battle droids.
Add 17 battle droids.
So I'll hide just past
They'll be fun.
wherever you guys are exiting in case you need medical assistance.
Appreciate that, little sister.
Not younger than you.
No, but you are shorter. Like
Kitty
an inch.
makes a gesture of like, we are barely an inch apart.
It's true.
Droid.
Apparently,
pod.
Graz is just feeling a little salty right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and there goes Mara.
Sorry.
It's
My
okay.
internet's bad today.
So long as Mara is the only one whose camera flickers, everyone will stay in the same position. It's if anybody else's camera flickers that shit gets fucked up.
Cool.
So turn off video is what
Oh, look,
I'm sorry,
Oh, look,
I'm playing Ilyana. I am built for mischief right now.
oh, look, Ilyana had a
It's
heart
true.
attack. That's weird.
Oh, that's fine. You should see my next character.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
please
to
don't punish my character if my internet flakes. It's been flaky since I moved to this place.
it. Okay.
But Graz will definitely go down and prep alongside Zilda.
Yeah, Avazi is going as well.
I suppose we prepare for an immediate fight. Of course, Raz will head down.
Yeah, Crack will sit down in the co-pilot seat.
I need
Yep.
to get a handle back on Corsorath's accent because it disappeared for the last session.
It'll be gone forever. Don't worry.
And Crack, you're able to take piloting just in case
Right. In case.
healing is needed out there.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, should we have another discussion about how a landing is not the same as a slow crash?
I am aware of this. It is essentially a slow crash. Just as life is dying slowly after a certain point.
For the first time in my existence, someone being technically correct does not make me feel better.
Now you know how I feel.
Ah, touche.
A concerning thing for a medic to say.
The medic is the one saying, "Yeah, living's just dying slowly."
Yes.
The medic, desperately trying to apply brakes to life.
Yes.
What I'm getting out of this
That's true.
Healer.
what I'm getting out of this conversation is that Kraktulpa would be a very big fan of Microsoft technical support.
So I'm having a hard time finding a specific duration on Conjure.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else has that or can help me look it up.
Conjure the ability that is in unlimited power.
Yes, unlimited power, page 40.
Horsepowers, conjure. Lasts for a short time. At the end of the user's next turn, the item dissipates, unless you have duration increases.
There we go.
Okay. Cool. Not something to do before combat then.
Duration found. All right.
In fact, literally one of the first upgrades is you can commit a 4-stat and make it last as long as it's in medium range of you.
I don't have that because it's for poisoning people.
Oh, right. I've almost got everything. Okay, so Zilda, along with Graz, Corsorath, and Vasia, gather in the passenger deck of the ship. By the door that's by the bathrooms that leads down to the exterior. As the ship comes in, begins to slow down, you all feel the thrusters on the ship slowing, and you feel that slight shake as the ship slows down and begins its landing approach. Nereis and everyone else in the cockpit, you see this fairly large complex coming up larger as you get towards it. It is a fairly ramshackle construction of Duracrete and Durasteel, sort of slapped together in a variety of places. It looks like there was a structure here originally that then had a lot of these metal bits attached to it to make it look more in line with Hut aesthetic and also defensible. You see the faint hum of planetary shielding, the kind of thing that you have on larger complexes, so that they can't just get bombarded out of into dust from orbit. Not something you see normally on civilized worlds. Civilized worlds tend to have planetary shields, like full on, completely surrounding the planet. Single isolated things like this are much more common on A, more rural worlds, B, Hut-controlled worlds, because they don't really care about the world at large, they care about their assets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cheaper to shield one facility than it is to shield the entire planet. There is a break in that shield that opens up as the ship approaches. A large irising starport roof sort of irises open as you approach, indicating your landing path. The ship settles down into it. As it settles down, you can all see It's a fairly large open space. This is a port, a docking bay that is designed for receiving large amounts of cargo, or receive both sending in and bringing in and sending out. There is a large command area, very clearly visible on one side towards the interior of the complex. This. If you look at it above, the complex is sort of like the main building of the complex is sort of like a almost flower-esque in design, where it's got several rounded hubs all extending off of a central pillar. The command the control booth that you're seeing is sort of attached to would be attached to that central pillar as far as the orientation of the docking bay is concerned. Underneath it, there's a large
something that
bay.
Something that we actually have line of sight to. It's not like blocked by any of the other.
Yeah, no. You can very clearly see it.
Okay.
You sort of dock. The ship docks facing the pillar, and so you can see it from the cockpit. Landing gear goes out. The ship settles down, and there is that off gassing of various various pneumatic pressures as the ship settles into its berth. That from various valves. You hear over the intercom Zilda at the door. Begin acquiring your targets. Again, do not use the targeting computer. So, whoever is aiming the gun, you can give me this is not to shoot, this is just to aim. Give me, or to acquire targets, I should say. Give me a gunnery roll with your force die.
Okay.
All right, crack.
You can spend
Difficulty?
Difficulty going to be 3 because you are aiming manually.
Okay, yeah, definitely spending a light side point to upgrade then.
And you can use force points to generate successes.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, 3 successes and 2 threat.
Okay, so you begin sighting. Doing it manually rather than using a targeting computer, it's difficult because when you sight a gun manually, you have the gun in your hand and can see the barrel in relation to where the enemy is. You can't see the ion cannon from where you're at because it's mounted underneath the cockpit. So normally you would use a targeting computer. So you're having a little bit of difficulty figuring out exactly where to point it, but you're pretty sure you've got it aimed correctly. But you do notice that one of the command personnel in the command tower seems to have noticed the ion cannon adjusting as you're taking aim.
I would assume that's my threat, yes?
Yes, that would be your threat.
Okay. Well, the cannon is aimed, but I think they know we're here and what we're up to.
Graz has his lightsaber. Graz has their lightsaber out. They're doing that thing where you've got a robe on and you sort of tuck your hands into the opposite cuffs, so it's there in their paw, just concealed in the sleeve of the robe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Wrath just has his in his hand and is just waiting.
Same with Vazia.
Zelda's is also in his hand, but his body is covered by that large black cloak and the red mask, so it's easier to conceal.
Mm-hmm.
At Crack's message, Zelda, does it seem like they're charging up their turrets? And
Does it?
So, mounted underneath the command console, you see 3 large, what look to be DVI 200 ion cannons.
Be right back.
Just sort of mounted, prepared for anything. They don't seem to be charging up at the moment, but it would take a little bit once they had to power them on and things.
Doesn't seem like they're getting ready to initiate fire, but they'd have to be fools if they weren't preparing a counterattack.
Well then, Nereus, if you could drop the door.
Yes, I will hit the button.
So the ramp lowers down, the door opens, and Zilda marches out and begins calling out in Huttese. Everyone that's around the door, how many of you know Huttese?
Graz does.
Graz does.
A bit.
Graz knows a little bit.
Yeah.
Would be Avasia and Corsorat. Do either of you know Huttese?
I don't believe Avasia
yes.
does.
Corsorat does, Avasia doesn't? All right, cool.
Corsorath knows a good handful of languages, being an Imperial Intelligence assassin.
So Corsorath, you fully understand. Graz, you pick up little bits of Zilda shouting in Huttese that they need to hurry up. They need more hands to carry all of this gold. And that puts a perk into some of their movements, and you sort of see a bunch of these looking out into the cargo bay. You see a whole bunch of various alien species. There are some Gamorreans, the Gamorreans that large people. There are some. What are the ones that have the butt faces?
Nikto?
No, not
Ubies.
the ones
oh,
that
no.
have the big vasculating sacs for a face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Literal butt faces.
fair.
Damn it,
Okay.
I knew which one you're talking. I know which one you're talking about. I
Weequay.
can't think of it.
Not
Weequay.
Not Weequay. They
No,
have
wait, no.
mouths.
Oh,
The other ones. Some of them, as well as some Weequay and some Nikto. But
Hang on. The one who says he doesn't like you in the cantina.
no, the one with him.
Right.
The one that's with him. Not
No,
him.
the one who's saying he doesn't like you, and the other guy leans over and says, "My friend doesn't like you."
That's right. That one. I cannot think of what what that species is called off the top of my head at the moment. But
Aqualish.
Aqualish. Thank you. That's
Aqualish.
it. Some Aqualish, some Weequay, some Nikto. Variety of alien species. Begin to step it up a little
There's
bit.
Klaatu.
Klaatu and Barada are probably not
No,
there.
there are no Klaatu.
No, but okay. They were. That was a joke in the movie.
Yes, I know.
Right.
Klaatu, Nikto, Verada. Yes.
That's why they're named that.
Yes, it is. It's a reference to. Fuck, what is that from?
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Thank you.
Well, and that in turn was a reference to the day the Earth stood still.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
So,
Hello, I've become crack in real life.
thank you. You hear over the intercom as they begin to march. Zilda turns around and steps back up into the thing, looking at the group of you that are there in front of him. This is where the fun begins. And he hits the intercom and just says, "Fire."
Fire.
So give me
over crack.
give me a gunnery roll, difficulty 2, with a boost die for aiming.
So you get to apply his force die again.
No, that was just for the aiming. This is not to fire the gun.
Use the light side.
Yeah, definitely gonna use the light side again. And where'd you go, gunnery? There you are. One success.
That's enough.
Woo!
There is a burst of blue energy that erupts out from the undermounted the front mounted cannon underneath the cockpit, or underneath the front of the ship actually, because the cockpit's way back up in the middle of the ship. I forgot, but the design of the ship that I'm looking at right here. But from underneath the front of the front of the ship, that nails the command center, and there's this explosion of sparks and things, and you see the lights in the command tower go off. And as they go off, those of you that are by Zilda see his lightsaber ignite this ruby red blade, and he spins around and leaps out of the ship at the oncoming forces, and that's where we're going to pull up our initiative. Let me pull everybody over to the thing.
Remember to remove all of your difficulty so you don't have to re-roll the weird initiative.
Right.
And click on your token, right?
Yep. Actually, no, you
Or
don't. You
does
don't
it?
have to, because it just adds a PC or NPC slot. Just make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we
Rolling
doing cool?
initiative.
Are we prepared or unprepared for this fight?
I would say
You are
we're
prepared.
I feel like we're prepared.
Oh wait, we're
Hey.
fighting? I thought this
2
was target
successes.
practice.
Ooh. Look at that initiative.
Oh, Avasia.
Oh, right. Initiative is a tab.
Oh.
Hey, I got some good
Okay.
numbers this time. No, Reese, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's funny. We're always prepared, and all of my Star Wars characters historically have had higher pools for being unprepared.
Right.
That was
So
the
I
that
have
was,
literally, I think, never rolled vigilance.
that was the weird thing about Helix was he was way better at unprepared initiative despite being an assassin.
Right. He was reactive rather
Oh,
than
and I
The
just,
opposite.
as I said that, I rolled the wrong one.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that potentially part of the reason is you guys always were very careful before you went into combat in that game.
Yes,
You
we
would
weren't.
plan things out a lot.
We simply weren't careful once the combats began.
Yes.
Oh no, Helix was very
But you
careful.
very
once combat
rarely
began.
fell
He was
for
like, "You're
ambush.
dead. You're dead. You're dead."
We didn't fall for ambushes. We just made very poor decisions in combat.
There you
right.
go.
All of my decisions were well thought out. They just didn't end well.
Bullshit.
They just didn't end
I would
well.
argue that
I
Helix
was-
made very good decisions in combat.
I was in that fucking game, John. I know it since
William,
Taku did.
we all understand that you were the exception.
To be fair, you mostly had your combats at long range with a sniper rifle.
Yes,
Like-
if Helix could have a fight as far away from the fight as possible,
Yes.
that was his job.
You also spaced the one close quarters fight I threw at you.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
like, oh yeah,
Um,
you're just going into outer space now. Because I'm a droid, I don't have to breathe.
Rerun
Anyway.
didn't make tactical decisions, but he always made great decisions.
That was a fun
that
game.
the 4-2 the 4-2 that's in the PC slot needs to go away because that was the Ilyana accidental vigilance roll.
I am assuming John is rolling NPCs.
I am.
If only triumphs mattered in initiative.
I know I got one. It's very exciting.
Do you need a separate NPC thing for figuring out Archon Zilda because he's on our side?
Nope.
Okay.
He goes in an NPC slot. I just get to determine when that slot is.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, Jeremy, you have an item called a Fetish of Fear. That's very fun.
I do. I'm also in. It also might take me a little while to be able to use it because I'm sitting at turbo lasers right now.
Right.
Like I literally almost said, "Should I roll initiative?" Because like
Yes,
I
you
feel
should.
like the group's gonna murder everybody before I even get out of the ship if I decide to leave the ship.
Remember what the very specific circumstances you were
Yes.
told to fire the turbo lasers
Yes.
in were?
Oh, good, good. I get to fire the turbo lasers. I'm gonna-
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna
seeing-
roll
yeah, I'm
really
seeing
poorly and accidentally kill someone.
I'm seeing a battle droid initiative being rolled, so you know.
There.
Apparently, they've got some muscle.
Okay, so when they plow through us and try and corner you, it's still useful to have.
Okay.
There's so many.
So the first slot is an NPC slot. That's going to go to Zilda because he's very clearly initiating this fight. So Zilda leaps. And when I say leap, I don't mean jump. I mean leaps from the top of the ramp that you guys are standing on into the middle of this battle, which would be a long distance normally. He just goes to.
Because he's a force user who has the force jump.
So did
enhanced.
you sort the initiative?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because it did the thing where it doesn't take into account the second number.
Oh, right, it did that. Hang on.
Because we've got 3031.
Let's fix that.
Like it doesn't change that Zilda can go first.
Actually, no,
but-
because that makes it a PC. No, there's an NPC. There's an NPC 3-1, so we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
That'll be Zelda. That should.
It's cool that they have so much stuff for this very weird specific system, but occasionally there are things that it doesn't.
Okay, there it goes. So yeah, there's the 3-1 that's Zelda. Right. So yeah, so Zelda just jumps into the middle of this group of thugs that very rapidly, as they see a lightsaber approaching, whip their weapons out. Let's see.
Awesome.
Let's see what he gets on his attack roll here. Difficulty 2. Only 10 damage. You just see his lightsaber carve through a blaster and the person holding it in one fell swoop as two halves of this Aqualish fall in either direction, spinning the lightsaber back as he prepares to attack again. First PC slot.
Graz would like to take that if possible.
Yeah,
Roz, of
I'm
course,
down.
Wrath, one or the other.
Sure. Yeah.
Until I have battle
Okay.
droids in my vision to shoot, I'm holding off because
What's it?
Yana
What?
has a
What is,
job and she's gonna do that job.
what is the current Who's closest to us? What's their range from us? Can
So,
Can
you
Graz
have-
get engaged with anybody or no?
You are currently long range from just about
Okay.
everything. There are a collection of thugs and hired guns currently that you are seeing.
Okay.
The principal distinction between them being that the hired guns have guns and the thugs have not guns.
All right.
The thugs have clubs and things. Apparently, I forgot to add their weapons to their character sheets. Let me go ahead and do that while I'm doing that.
Okay.
And-
So Graz
Droids
is
are
going.
going-
Graz
sorry,
is
go
going to move to the next. They're going to use a movement to get to the next range band, knowing full well that they're probably drawing
So
fire
you go from long to medium.
long to medium. They will suffer 2 strain with an additional third one to perform sidestep. So any ranged attacks that come in against Graz will have its difficulty upgraded once.
Okay.
Because you can't swap out an action for a maneuver, right?
Um,
Well,
Right.
you
You
can't.
can.
It's complicated because you can't both take a strain for
So-
another remover. You can only have 2 maneuvers.
you have a maneuver and an action. Your action can be to do another maneuver, but
Oh, okay.
you can
All right.
only do 2 maneuvers around.
Then-
So
okay.
if you take
So
that maneuver, you
instead
don't
of-
have to take
okay.
the 2 strain to do the other maneuver.
All right. Graz will then suffer 1 strain rather than 3 to perform sidestep, so that every ranged attack that's coming in at them will be upgraded by 1.
So
And prepare to try and reflect some shit.
so you are staying in. So you're in medium range, and you're
Medium range,
Sidestepping.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep, and sidestepping.
all right. That makes it the second PC slot.
Are the droids? The droids are not in view yet,
No,
right?
you don't see any droids at the moment.
Okay, yeah, then I don't want to go yet.
Of course, Wrath will go at that point.
Okay.
He will take a maneuver to get closer as well, sort of stick behind Graz.
So moving into medium
and
range.
then with the lightsaber in his right hand, he will pull the heavy blaster off of his belt with his left and take a shot at one of the hired guns.
Okay. Let me see. So many windows. I need a 4th monitor. I need a 4th monitor just right up there that I can put all the NPC sheets on, so that when I have my reference information, my Roll20 sheet, my cameras, and my NPC sheets, I'm not having to juggle back and forth between them. So you're at medium range. That's going to be difficulty 2 to hit.
Yep.
Sorry, the thugs also have pistols, but they
Blam. That's
they
a
don't
hit
have the heavy carbine.
for 7 damage.
7
Blam.
damage.
Why was that upgraded? That was upgraded. But
So yeah, you
Apologize.
walk out, lightsaber ignited, raise the blaster, fire, and one of the
All
hired
individually
guns
threats.
just drops. There are still 4 others in that group, but one of them drops.
Progress.
Excellent.
Actually, actually, Zelda killed 2 thugs, not 1. Reduce that group. All right. First NPC slot, or first enemy NPC slot, we'll say. So the doors at the far end were in the middle of opening when the ion cannon went off, and so there's just half opened docking bay door, through which you see 2 tall figures crawl through. They look at first glance like a humanoid, but upon closer inspection, you see that these are large, staff-wielding battle droids with long flowing cloaks that sort of crawl through and come out. They have sort of staffs on their backs, and these cloaks sort of hiding most of their form, but distinctly droid heads atop the shoulders. One of them moves closer, and from the cloak sort of peels away to reveal a large blaster that he's sort of holding with both hands, one on the far end, one on the back end. Kind of looks like a minigun, but it's a blaster. As he fires his light repeating blaster at, well, Graz is just standing there, so it's gonna be at Graz.
Right. His difficulty will be upgraded by 1.
Also at long range to you.
I do love that they use light repeating blaster the same way we in the modern era use light machine gun.
Yes, because a normal machine gun is mounted.
Yeah.
Technically, so is this one.
A light machine gun is one that you can carry. No, this one isn't mounted. He's holding it with hands.
Oh, okay. I was picturing a torso gun.
No. It's both arms were under the cloak, so they were sort of all revealed at once. Difficulty 3 upgraded once.
Crack opens the notebook labeled Nori's Gear Concepts and just writes "cool cloak."
I have a cool cloak.
So
Cool cloak.
only hits does not get to activate his auto fire ability, but that's 11 damage with Pierce 1.
All right, which means my soak is reduced by 1, right?
Correct.
Okay. Graz will suffer 3 strain to reduce. So that is, so his soak will be 4, which would knock it down to 7.
Your deflect.
And then deflect would drop it by another 4. So Graz suffers 3 wounds.
3 wounds and 3 strain.
And 3 strain, yep.
Which is better than 11 wounds.
Which is much better than 11 wounds.
As this barrage of blaster bolts just rains in on you, Graz, and you get your lightsaber up, flinging it around in the manners that you were taught. The hilt is slightly longer than the one that you practiced with, so you're still getting used to the deflection shots and a few punch through your defensive barrage.
Yep.
The smell of burning fur. There's another NPC slot there. The other battle droid is going to come out, and he's going to aim at Zilda, not really caring that there are people around him. This one's closer because Zilda is closer. That's not upgraded, but Zilda does have adversary 4, so that still gets upgraded.
Damn.
And has 2 range defense. Let's that back die. Okay. Fires at Zilda. And misses. Because while they had a triumph on the roll, it's still the success that it had.
All
got
the successes got canceled.
So
nice.
The blaster just fires into this crowd, and the triumph says they don't hit any of their allies. but they do
Fair.
still miss Zelda. All right. PC slot.
I would like to shoot things. Oh,
Yeah, turbo lasers go.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I think somebody in. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll take the next one.
I will do droid murder.
All right. So let's see. They would be at short range to the planetary scale of your guns.
Okay.
But they are
Which
also
is-
significantly smaller than your guns. So planetary scale is the way planetary and unit scale work. For those who are unfamiliar with the system, is that everything basically sort of operates on a level of 10. Damage from turbo lasers, for instance, would 1 point of damage from a turbo laser would do 10 points of damage to a normal person.
Right.
But
Lots of murder.
But because they are so much larger, it's harder to hit things that are so much smaller. So let me look at what the scale difference is real quick. Firing vessel has a silhouette 2 larger, 3 points larger. All right, so it's short range, which means it would be difficulty 1, but it's
Right.
but you're firing at something that's 4 or more points smaller, which would be formidable. So we're going to cut the difference. So it's going to be difficulty 3 to hit.
Difficulty 3. Okay.
Yep.
That said, if you hit it, it's probably just dead.
Oh, fingers crossed. Let me check something here just to make sure I've got nothing in my talents or the
They have defenses, but their range defense doesn't mean anything to a ship. So that's accepted.
Music to my goddamn ears. All right, let's roll some gunnery.
Are there any maneuvers that
I didn't
Ileana
put the.
could
I
take
don't
to?
have the weapon in the. Yeah, can I aim?
Yeah, you can aim, which will add a boost die.
Okay. Shall I add a boost die?
The weapon stats are on the Shio. So if you want to look at that,
Yeah, there it is.
you'll be firing one of the twin light turbo lasers.
Turbo lasers, gunnery, blah 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 blah.
Breach 2,
Is
which
there
means they
some
ignore
way
20
to-
points of soak.
Right. Is there some way to indicate that it would be, or
I have not yet found a way to make it roll your stats on the ship character sheet, so just understand that those are the stats once you make your gunnery roll.
okay, cool.
So no successes, no failures, 2 advantage. You unload at the thing. And I'm going to say the 2 advantages say you don't scar up the floor and walls. You instead
I'm okay
just
with that.
blast you hit the door behind them and just sort of blast it in such a way that it can't fully open or close anymore.
Could I hit a crate of chickens that just happens to be on the opposite side of the?
There is a burst of.
Can I spend a force point to blow up some chickens?
There's a burst of feathers. There's a burst of
Okay,
feathers
awesome.
that comes from inside from the other side of the blaster doors as you hit them. So it's like smoke, electronics, and feathers just sort of explode from behind these battle droids.
Amazing.
Fucking brilliant. Perfect.
NPC slot. These thugs are going to try to beat up Zelda. Because
I'm sure that's going to work out really well for them.
I mean, they don't really have many choices in the matter right now. It's not like they can, run away. There's a gun firing at one end. There's droids behind them that don't care if they live. And then there's an angry Kalish in front of them.
Well,
with a lightsaber.
Maybe they should be rethinking their life choices.
They are.
Maybe some of them should have listened to their guidance counselors.
I should have said no. With
I
the
like
huts
to
off
imagine
of
what
Google's
hut
stuff.
space guidance counselors are like.
So I'm going to say that
Take
you
out
need
more
to take
loads.
some more drugs.
Take out
My
more
advice to
loans.
you is to start drinking heavily.
They hit
Holy
Beat-
shit!
Nice.
with advantages. They
Beaten to death, well covered in chicken feathers, just like the old forest witch said I was gonna go.
they get to activate disorient. They disorient Zilda.
I thought it's marked as disorient 3.
Yeah. That means
Which
it
means you would
that
need
means it
3
adds,
advantages.
No, that means he's
Oh, no.
disoriented for 3
Okay.
rounds.
No, that's only for crits.
It's 2
Yeah.
2 advantages to activate disorient 3 disorient lasts for 3 rounds. So for the next 3 rounds, Zilda adds a setback
Jesus.
die to all of his checks, all of his skill checks.
Yeah. Almost every quality ranks mean number of activations, not number of points needed to activate.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little better about some of my shit.
You know, most things require 2 advantages to activate, unless it says otherwise. And typically, if it says otherwise, it requires less, not more, with the sole exception of crits.
Noise.
So yeah, Zilda got punched in the face. He didn't take any damage from it, but he got punched in the face. You just
It's
see
probably been a while for him.
you see this one
They shifted the mask.
Oh.
That's why he's
Is
disoriented.
there a cool
Yeah,
crack in the mask now?
You see this one Aqualish that he's just sort of like not paying attention to, just and just get him right in the side of the mask and just a crack on the side of it from the punch, and then he's
Oh, I know who's gonna die
just
next.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
turns.
over the intercom, over like the ship's external speakers, like, oh, you done fucked up now.
Another NPC's turn. The hired guns are going to fire at Corsarath, who took out one of them.
Yep.
Damn it! I was trying to make myself a big target.
You did. That's why the LMG fired at you and not Corsarath.
I mean, okay.
Which is good because I don't have deflect.
But
But I
Corsarath
wanted
walked up.
everybody to fire it.
Corsarath walked up next to you, pulled out a gun, and just one shot a dude. So, so they're like, "Oh, another target." Difficulty? Do you have any range defense?
I do not. I only have melee defense.
Blaster carbine.
Ah, well then.
That's going to be 9, 10, 11. So that's 12 damage.
Ow.
No pierce.
I'll take those 10 wounds.
Jesus.
So you do get your full soak for whatever that was worth.
Yeah, 10 wounds.
As these guns just turn their blaster carbines at you and unload, and you deflect a couple of the blaster bolts, but just a volley of them just nail you in various places around your armor. All right, PC slot.
I would like to shoot at the droid with the gun.
Okay. Which droid with the gun?
Plot twist, Corsarath.
The first one that fired.
Okay, so that's going to be difficulty 3.
Mm-hmm.
Corsarath
And
would be particularly funny because it's the ion gun, so it wouldn't actually hurt, but it would fuck up his lightsaber.
can you take 2 actions to aim if I take 2 strain?
You wouldn't have an action to fire, but yeah, you could.
No.
Maneuver.
I use my maneuver to strain. Maneuver to
Maneuver to aim, another
take 2
maneuver to
strain.
aim. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You can aim
So I'll
twice
take
and fire.
Shit.
I'll aim twice and take a boost die.
So two boost dice and
Yeah.
2 strain and fire.
Yep. Okay.
Now
Yeah, you can aim. You can stack aim. I think you can only stack aim twice. So yeah.
Come on. Okay. No.
No. Again, fortunately for you, this is an ion cannon, so there's no visible damage as you just fire out this beam of blue, this sort of ring of blue that just misses and hits the door that's already inoperable. So
a poof of droid chicken feathers.
some nuts and bolts go flying.
Yeah, some nuts and bolts.
All right, that's the last NPC slot now. Who's? Oh yeah, that guy's left.
That one security guard.
I mean, 5 security guards, but yes,
Okay, right.
minion groups, man, minion groups.
Yeah, yeah. Legit.
So, again, coming from the other side of the door, a pile of these guys are slightly more uniformed than the dock workers that were out here previously. These look like they're the proper like hut cartel slavers rather than the hired help that was working here, who come out and sort of form a line behind the battle droids, and who I also forgot to add their weapons in. I'm bad at this whole making it.
No, it gets tricky.
Remind me again. It's harder for someone to try and shoot you when you're in their face with a lightsaber. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yeah, short range is difficulty 1. Engaged and medium are both difficulty 2.
Yes, that's the one. Okay. I'll just add in the gun that they're using for. Then I'll add the other one.
Are they shooting at Graz?
They are splitting their fire. Actually,
Ooh.
they are shooting
Fancy.
at Bosgraz and Corserath.
Oh boy.
Upgraded still on me.
I'm about to go down.
Which, in the case of minion groups, basically just means I count their sizes as 2 different sizes while they're firing. So 3 are firing at Corserath, and this is stun set. This will be strain
That was their
damage.
first mistake.
These guys aren't fighting for their lives. These guys are fighting for a paycheck. So they're like, could probably use these. Stun setting.
Price on Jedi on my island is 489 bells.
And it failed to fire. Oh, right.
That sounds like an Animal Crossing thing.
It is definitely an Animal
There's
Crossing
a-
reference.
It's doing weird things.
Why
There's
is
a
it failing
pun
to fire?
about turnips.
Gee,
I promise it makes sense in context.
No. I figured.
There.
there we go.
Oh, because I don't have any difficulty. Hang on.
I was about to say,
There is
difficulty.
difficulty here.
If we should do Final Show Film stock market comparisons for those of us
Okay.
that play Animal Crossing.
So that's going to be 7 strain
To Corserath.
to
No
Corserath.
Pierce.
Nope, Pierce.
Okay, so 5.
And to Graz Tatha. Upgraded.
Need to get armor.
Yes, we do.
Ooh, they got a triumph.
Yes, but they also got 4 threat, which means I can use improved reflect.
You can.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be. Hang on. They're going to activate their auto fire feature with that
Oh.
triumph. So it's going to
Okay.
be 14 strain damage.
I forgot that I'm actually wearing some armor, so I actually took 1 less wound and 1 less strain there.
There you go.
14 strain.
Yep. No pierce,
Rifle
but 14
5,
strain.
6, 8, right? Okay.
Because heavy clothing.
You have to be able to
provides a
reduce
silver
it to 0 to reflect it back.
I don't have to be able to reduce it to 0 for improved reflect.
Do you not?
No. Mm-mm. Reflect just improved reflect just says when reflecting a hit, which just mean all reflecting means is that I'm reducing the damage I sustain. Then I can just spend up to 3 or more threat to hit somebody else in medium range with the actual damage that I sustained, or with the actual damage of the initial hit. So basically, I reduce the amount of damage I take, and I send the full damage that I would have suffered onto somebody else.
Yeah. After the attack resolves, then.
After
send
the
it
attack
back.
resolves.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It works
So-
differently for NPCs.
Yes.
I
So
also
I
have
only
a ability
suffer
called Reflect, and mine works differently too, so it's great.
4.
Well, there's regular reflect and improved reflect.
Yeah.
Improved reflect builds
Right.
on regular reflect.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I reduce it by 4. I soak 5, so that's 5 left over. 3. Okay. All right. So I'm going to send that 14 strain onto are either of those battle droids within
No, they're at long range.
okay, they're at long range still? Okay. Then the hired gun group is going to have 14 strain going into it.
So yeah, you just reflect this. Some of it still hits, and you get that
Right,
some numbing
yeah.
sensation in your hand, but some of these blue blaster bolts just bounce off your blade into this group of hired guns and disseminates amongst them as they all collapse to the ground, because that was more damage than the remaining amount of them could soak,
Fuck yeah.
because they hit you real hard with the riot gun.
Yep. Graz is looking a little rough right about now, though. They're swaying a bit.
PC slot.
Avazia would like to go.
Okay, so you are at long range to the combatants that are in melee with Zilda.
Okay. Where are they exactly?
So you are at the ship.
Right.
Between you and the the docking bay door are now one group of thugs that are currently fighting with Zilda that are at long range to you. And then beyond that, at extreme range, are a group of security guards and a pair of battle droids.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go to the ones that are on Zelda right now.
So you can maneuver twice, which would take you into short range.
Okay.
Do you have any actions you can do while you're in short range?
Hold on. I don't think so.
So you just want to spend your action and maneuver to just move closer?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
All right. So you run forward.
All right.
Next, second to last PC slot.
I need to go at some point. I just don't know what I really can do.
I'm gonna start heading out of the ship because this
Okay,
is
go
not
ahead.
going. I see people getting injured out there, and I can't do much here now. So I turn and say to Crack, "Keep firing. You'll hit them. Eventually."
Statistically, that is likely.
Yes. And I'm gonna start heading out.
Okay.
Just using my action and maneuver, I think.
So with
to
2
go.
maneuvers, you can get down to the passenger section of the ship. So you go from the
Okay.
cockpit down 2 floors.
Okay. Graz was looking pretty bad when I was still up there. I think I could see him, right?
Not easily, but yeah, you have cameras, so yes, you can see him.
Okay. Yeah.
Ilyana,
I'll take-
funnily enough, Ilyana can see them better because she's in the underslung turret.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Uh-huh. I'll take 2 strain to move
You can
one
only
more.
do 2
thing.
maneuvers.
you can
no
only
matter
yeah,
what.
you can only do 2
Oh wait,
moves
yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what.
that's right. Never mind. No, I'll do that anyway, and then wait, no, it's a maneuver to take something out, isn't it? Never mind.
It's an interact,
Yeah.
so you don't have to spend a thing for that. You just
Oh, I thought
pull
that was a
something out.
maneuver to like
I-
take out gear.
Is it a
I was
maneuver?
gonna get out my physician's kit ready.
It might just be a maneuver. Never mind.
It is.
Yeah.
I have the thing here.
Yep. Never mind.
It's okay. I do my 2 maneuvers. That's it.
You.
Yep.
Kitty.
Sorry, I spent the entire round discovering how difficult it is to be able to throw your lightsaber.
That's
Yes.
why there are talents for it.
Well, yeah, if you're an Artaru striker or a Xian expert, there's a talent for it. If you're not, you can do fussy things with the move tree. Anyways, point being, I am buying myself a few extra seconds to actually look up the stats of emergency med packs.
I will take those seconds. Say over the intercom, crack hairs. Statistically, you're not necessarily more likely to hit. I saw that shot.
I'm going to hit something.
Are you looking for stim packs, Aaron? I've got those stats.
I have something that you gave me that's called an emergency med pack.
Yes, that's a separate thing. That is a.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've got the entire text of it. Give me a second.
Sorry.
Okay, there are med packs, emergency med packs, and stim packs. These are all 3
What?
things that exists.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. As described on another page, but fuck it, I'm going out to heal Graz because I believe I can do that. Graz is in medium range for me, correct?
Were you in the cockpit or were you down at the entrance with
I
everyone
was
else?
just in the ship further back than the people that are good with their swords.
I was gonna say, I think Kitty was in the same range band as everybody
Yeah,
else.
so if
that
yeah,
wasn't
if you were
launching.
then you can one maneuver to get to where Graz is.
I was just hiding behind the people who can actually murder things. Okay, so taking the strain for the extra maneuver and then using my action to activate the emergency med pack, which is a medicine skill check.
Sorry.
of
OBS just freaked me
difficulty
out.
Dependent upon Graz's injury level.
Graz would be at easy right now,
Okay,
single
thank
difficulty.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, OBS updated recently, and they changed the little icons on the bottom so like the live icon is a blue signal icon, and the recording icon is the red dot. Where previously they were both the red dot, and I looked down and saw that the red dot was not lit up because I'm not doing local recording, and I freaked out thinking we hadn't been streaming.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, jeez.
if we'd been recorded, that would have been semi-fine.
But no,
That's 3 wounds.
we are streaming.
Yeah.
We're not recording. It's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're
so
just
you get
also
3 health
dropping
back
frames, but-
and no strain.
Cool.
But Twitch has been under a lot of stress recently, and so dropping frames are to be expected.
And I already had my lightsaber activated because,
I
that's
blame
how I started
Valorant.
combat.
Right. Makes sense.
So I'm here now.
Excellent.
Okay.
I blame Valorant
Okay.
for Twitch being under stress. Anyways, I was responding to you.
I know. I haven't actually played or watched any of Valorant, so I have no idea if it's interesting or not.
Eh,
I'm not even 100% certain what it is.
it's
I know it's a
hero-based
Riot game, but-
CS:GO.
Oh, I could have done
It's
it. Oh, well.
CS:GO with actual characters.
So it's Overwatch.
No, CS:GO is so not Overwatch.
Overwatch
even
is Team
close to
Fortress 2
Overwatch.
with characters.
Yes.
Yes,
I-
sick burn Team Fortress 2
I
fans,
also
get over
I
it.
also don't know the major significance between CS